Hey friends, it is Beth. Welcome or welcome back. It is noisy around the house today, so we will see what we can get done here today. It has been about 2 weeks since I've popped in. Last week, the world was on fire. Between a organization that I volunteer with that had a rogue volunteer try to dismantle a bunch of things. My two besties are M&Ms. They both have M names. One has a mom undergoing surgery tomorrow and again on Wednesday, and there's some health questions about whether or not the surgery will be successful, whether or not she's strong enough to make it through surgery. And then my other M, her dad was in the hospital and is now in a skilled care facility. So it has been a lot. Sleep has been poor. I've just been kind of running on autopilot for some stuff. I've been an absolutely terrible employee. I get my work done, but dang it, bare minimums this week. So hopefully things are starting to simmer down and life can start to get back. We will see how the friend's mom's surgery goes tomorrow and Wednesday. They've broken it up because they feel her body can't handle it all at one time. So, and then working on getting my friend's dad back home. So with all that, I now have 3 fall events on my calendar. One towards the end of this month, locally for a back to school event. I have a event in November that's in a Raleigh suburb, and then my Small Business Saturday event that they didn't do it last year, but had the previous couple of years, is back on for this year. So we are slowly starting to build the fall event calendar. Last weekend, I got yarn hung up. So I had mentioned that I had purchased some of those accordion hangers, pokes, whatever you want to call them. So we divided up wool versus some merino cotton silk derivatives, so I can actually see what I got. A number of these I purchased during the yarn tours. These specialty shops, they are more in hanks than some of the other skeins that I purchased. So we've got things hung up so I can actually see what I have, and it's super pretty. Most of them are really mermaid colors, and that just makes me happy. So then I've got my trusty Boppy back there that I use to support my arms as I crochet, and my new turtle cover. So what have I crocheted this last week? I have just been turning out the cup koozies by LTK Cuties. So I have just been going crazy. It is a pattern I now have memorized, and I can make them in about 30 minutes when I'm not totally distracted. So then I've purchased a bunch of felties from Wholesale Felties, and I cut them out and I use fabric glue to adhere them. So I have, this is only part of them, a whole basket of things. Oh, this one on top, this is my week right here, my week. So I have more with the felties than I have without, but I have been making some without. This cotton yarn that I had purchased on sale from Premier, it's okay. It is not beginner friendly. It is not wound very tight. The layers on the yarn come apart very easily, and it as I go back in and go back in and back in and loop over, it is not the most user-friendly. It does end up being fairly soft when it's all together, but in the little bitty mini skeins, it does seem kind of rough, and I'm not sure if my autoimmune stuff is flaring or if it's from using this rough cotton, but I've got like blisters, skin peeling off the side. That is right where, you know, I loop around and it would be holding some tension there. So I'm not sure what all is going on. So with that, I've taken a bit of a break in using some of the cotton ones, and I just had a kid burst in. They were out doing some yard work, and she is hot, sweaty, and has little curly tendrils all over from the humidity. So I think I was talking about the yarn, and so I have decided to switch to some softer acrylics for a bit and give my hands a rest. I just got in a bunch of holiday felties, and so I've got little Halloween and some Christmas ones as well. The Christmas ones I haven't started cutting out yet. I've got about 10 Halloween ones set out here to do with some acrylic yarn. And then this is a very, very fine, this one's wool, but I thought this would be a cute to go with my little bougie ghost here. It is a four-ply. It says it's a 3.25 hook, US 3 maybe. Doesn't necessarily give me the yarn size. It's a fairly fine yarn, so I may have to enlarge the pattern to make sure that it meets the sizing that I need. But my hands just need a rest from that rougher cotton, and then hopefully we can get back to it. It's been a very good project, as the interruptions, both like messaging and brain train derails. And then I have been binge watching my YouTube friends with all the changes and job changes, and just this spring I didn't do a whole lot of crocheting as I buckled down and took care of everything else going on in life. And so I am like 5 months behind on a lot of my YouTube friends. So I have been binging my YouTube friends, trying to escape from reality. And we're doing okay. We're on the mend here. So it's been a couple weeks. Goodness gracious. So I want to show you this as well. I drink vegan protein shakes because I have a whole lot of food intolerances, dairy allergies. I break out in hives with all sorts of things now. Thank you, autoimmune disorders. And recently at Ollie's, they have had cases of my vegan protein shake. And I usually get them from Sam's, and it's a case of 15 for like $25, $26. Occasionally it's on sale, and then I have to buy 3 packs in order to get my $50 of shipping, $50 free shipping limit. But they've had them for $10 for a 12 pack. Huge savings. So needless to say, I have like 7 cases. Well, it was 8, but I just finished the one of this, plus the couple that I had from Sam's. So we have stocked up on the protein. But as I went and bought the rest of their cases yesterday, I had this cute little cat yarn ball. So it's a ceramic dish, just with a little yarn ball lights in it. And so I have not taken out the tab yet. So let's take out the tab and my little garbage can. Isn't that cute? So it is much whiter in real life. It's looking much more yellow on the camera here. So isn't that cute? I also have a orange cat mini vac on my desk, my work desk. And so it matches my little mini vacuum. So I don't know if you've seen, let me grab them. So these are little mini vacuums and they just undo. And so this is what I have. This one is my craft room one. Come on, there we go. And just a little push button, little vacuum, and I get all my fuzzies up. So like yesterday, my pillow was covered in blue fuzz from the cotton that I was using. And so I just vacuum it all up. And so I can get little sections, you know, where I'm crocheting. So the blue fuzz on the bottom of this. And it's super nice. So my office one is I think the vacuum is actually blue. Then it has an orange cat sleeping on top. So the two orange cats will have good company. If you tend to crochet in the same spot and aren't, you know, it doesn't warrant the big vacuum to get this stuff out, these little guys are perfect. I think I ended up using Kohl's Cash on my orange cat, which is where I found that one. I needed to spend $10 at Kohl's, and I'm like, I don't need anything else. I think it was just Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So that was sitting at like the register, the little shelves that you pass before you go into the register. It was well worth that. In addition to little yarny fuzzies, it is really good at picking up the crumbs that I may or may not eat at my desk. So yes, I would highly recommend a little mini vacuum. They are so nice. Some of them are rechargeable, some of them just use batteries, but definitely a good little $10 investment that is super portable and handy. So other than that, I have a chicken still hanging out here, a Mabel chicken that hasn't been finished. And with doing my market bags that I had showed you guys a couple weeks ago, as a free pattern, Bags by Bento, and using this guy to count my rows for the market bags, I then didn't have another poppet to count for when I made my safari animals, the lion, the tiger, those guys. So when I purchased those, I purchased some itty bitties, and these are super cute. They go to 100, a 10 by 10, which is what this is too. However, it is much smaller and the colors go the opposite direction. And so as I'm looking at this, I am so disoriented. I've been using this guy for a couple of years now. And so I am very aware of how I work myself through the rainbow and pop these down. Well, like, I am so confused. I don't know how to count anymore. So it's a work in progress there. I also had purchased this pattern, the goldfish pattern. So this is by Cuddle Roo. And so I'm hoping to make some goldfish here. We will see. I haven't gotten into it. Again, this whole counting thought process, all of it has been rough lately. And so doing these little guys on repeat has been very therapeutic. So we will see what kind of things I get done over this next week. So not next weekend, but the 22nd is the first market for the fall. That's the back to school event for our county, which I have to follow up with them tomorrow because they have not cashed my check or acknowledged that they received it. I did email my form and tell them that I put a duplicate form with my check in the mail, but they haven't cashed the check or done anything else. And they should have received it like a week ago tomorrow. So do need to follow up with that. I did sell one of my coozies, and which one? The blue one. I did sell a duplicate of this guy to a family member of my husband's, like great aunt or something like that. She had seen it on my Facebook page, and so I sent that off to her. So already made one sale. So hopefully these are a big hit. I did buy the chip clips to hang them up on so that I can differentiate, you know, felties have one price, the plain ones have another price, and then be able to pull out some of those holiday ones as well so that people can see and look through. And I purchased some individual, the alligator clips on a hook to hang my market bags from. So those should be coming in here in the next couple of days, and we will see how all that works. I will probably also have lights for this back to school event because it's like a 5 to 8, and depending on the orientation of the tent, I may or may not have a whole lot of light coming in. So we will plan on bringing lights for that as well. So it'll be good. It looks like the high is mid 80s that day. I don't typically do summer events. This is much earlier than what I typically would start with, but it's like 10 minutes away. And it was $20 or something. So we'll see. We'll give it a try. And we'll go from there. So hopefully I will see you guys back next week and things will be good. If something does happen to one of my friend's parents, I do plan on driving out to Illinois. It's a 14-hour drive for me, because damn it, I would want somebody to show up for me. So if I'm not here next week, thoughts and prayers would probably be appreciated. But hopefully it's a fairly uneventful week and we can just cruise on through here at the end of summer. So that is all I have. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Tell me who you are binging on YouTube right now. It's gonna take me a bit to get caught up with all of my friends, but once I'm caught up, you know, I'm gonna need some more people to add to my rotation here, especially as we get into market season and buckling down on all things crochet. So I would love to hear what you're making, who you're binging on these days, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.